I just found the most incredible story. But first, hello, how's everyone doing? I think I even forgot to say hello in the previous video. I have no inspiration for this intro, so let's just get into the story. Now, I think we can all agree Elon Musk is the real Tony Stark, right? Like it's a thing, But I just found the real Captain America. He's not American, he's French, which is why I love this story, because I am French, as some of you might know. The only people watching is my family, so they know I am French. We all know the story of Steve Rogers, a skinny guy that volunteers. He wants to volunteer to go on the front line during World War I, which is amazing. I think 99% of us here watching this, we would not volunteer. Never happening. Then he becomes this badass soldier with, you know, all the muscles and stuff, and he's still not allowed to get on the front lines.
Before you decide to leave, I agree. This intro is longer than The Rock's hair. See what I did there? But it is critical to the rest of the video. There's good puppies at the end. Stay.
So after doing the dances and the ballet and the shows, he just decided that he's gonna go by himself. I mean, he's got those superpowers. Why wouldn't he go by himself? So he does, and the rest is history. He goes from, you know, Captain America, the first Avenger, to Avengers Endgame. Anyway, he saves hundreds and thousands of lives in all the comic books and the movies. And that's the exact story of Albert Roche. I'm gonna say it in French. Albert Roche. That is the exact same story, except for the muscles and the super strength, skinny team, you already know. So, hold on, let me keep going with the script. So Albert Roche was this young French man during World War I, and he wanted to volunteer to go to the French army, but he was rejected many times because he was considered too puny and weak to serve. So he did what anyone would do. He went to another district, Captain America, Steve Rogers, and they accepted him over there. But even there, he was still considered too weak to serve bravely and to be relied upon during a firefight, a shootout. You know when they shoot at each other. So they just never put him on the front lines, which is the only reason why he volunteered to go to the French army. But Albert Roche was not going to give up. Not having his wish granted to go on the front lines, he decided he was going to go by himself. So he started to leave camp. He left the camp with, you know, some guns and stuff, and he went on the front lines. But during his travels to the trenches, he was arrested because they thought he deserted. Which means that he was arrested, he was imprisoned, and he was judged. Now, upon his judgment, his punishment was to be sent on the front lines. The little bastard got his wish. And this is where his stories start. He has incredible stories, things you would only see in movies. Literally, you would only see in movies. It's only in Captain America. On one of his first missions, Albert volunteered, the only of his group by the way, to reconnaissance a German blockhouse. So he went and reconnaissanced the house, but he thought he could do more. So he sneaked up on the blockhouse, threw a couple of grenades, whatever he had on him, capturing the block all by himself. The Germans were obviously surprised, and they surrendered thinking that they were up against a big force. Now imagine their faces when they come out and they see the face of just one man. They see just one man standing in front of them. This one man played a fool out of all of them. Albert took them prisoners and he went back to base with the machine guns and the German prisoners. Albert won, Germans 0. I mean, can you imagine? This guy sneaked up on a block full of German soldiers, and he was like, you know what, I'm just gonna capture this thing. I mean, this is mine. I mean, nowadays our parents ask us to go to Walmart, check if there's still toilet paper, and we still hesitate whether we take it or not, you know? On another normal day in Albert's life, he found himself to be the last survivor in the trenches. He found himself to be the last survivor in the trenches. My God, I can't say this word, man. On another normal day in Albert's life, he found himself to be the last survivor in the trenches. The German army was advancing onto his position. So he had to come up with an idea to push them back, or at least give himself time to retreat. So what he thought of is that he set up all the machine guns of his dead comrades on certain position a couple feet away from each other, and he simply started running from machine gun to machine gun, shooting all over the place, shooting at the Germans all over the place. The German army, thinking they were once again against a big force unwilling to give up, backed down from the fight and retreated. Albert Rausch is a one-man army at this point. Albert 2, Germans 0. It's crazy reading these stories. I mean, this guy keeps volunteering to do crazy stuff. I mean, he could die literally at any second whenever he volunteers. The only thing I ever volunteered for was... Actually, I never volunteered, even when I had the right answer at school. I'm too shy to volunteer. It's like, just in case I'm wrong or I do something wrong, I'm just not gonna volunteer. I'm gonna let someone else do it. Now, this story is the one where you're gonna find why Albert Rausch is the real Captain America. Because, I mean, this is literally a scene from the Captain America, the First Avenger movie. I promise you, it's insane. So, Albert Rausch found himself to be imprisoned. He was captured and he was imprisoned, and he started to be tortured for information. But he still found a way to kill his interrogator, and he was going to escape, but he heard Germans talk about the other prisoners that were imprisoned in the base. So he went to the place that he heard from the Germans, and he found the French prisoners. He unlocked them, and they all escaped together. He escaped with 42 new prisoners and his wounded lieutenant on his back. They ran from the German base all the way to the French base, and Albert Rausch had his wounded lieutenant on his back the whole time. And that is literally a scene in Captain America the First Avenger. It's this scene right here. I'm showing it right now. That's the scene. And this is just one of the insane World War I stories. There are just so many more. No, we're not going to talk about the fact that I just got a haircut between the stories and the conclusion, and I have no time management. Just leave me alone. Stories about World War I hit close to home because I had a grandfather that wrote a book about his experience during the war. I've read it a couple times and it's just crazy. There are probably hundreds of thousands more of those stories that are told or untold. And I think it's important to share those stories of the untold heroes of the war. I think the best conclusion to this video is to let you know that Albert Rausch is one of the 12 soldiers chosen to be the unknown soldier. Now take care, stay safe, see you soon, bye please.